Hello there, and welcome to Mega Man 4. My name is Eric, I call myself Demon Alchemist. And this is the first game to have a more complex intro here. AD 2000X. Later games say 20XX. Household robots rock and roll were created by master robot designer Dr. Thomas Light. And we're enjoying their peaceful days. Then one day, the industrial robots all over the world went on a rampage, and the world fell into total chaos. I love those explosion effects. Dr. Light quickly realized that mad scientist Dr. Wily was behind the nefarious deed, but he didn't know what to do. Rock, having strong sense of justice, volunteered to be converted into a fighting robot. Thus, the super robot Mega Man was born. Such a cool effect. Mega Man shattered Dr. Wily's plans 3 times, and world peace has been maintained so far. History repeats itself. Dr. Cossack, a mysterious scientist, has invented 8 powerful robots and sent them after Mega Man. Mega Man starts for the battle again. This time equipped with the powerful new Mega Buster. That's new Mega Buster, not new Mega Buster. He already had the Mega Buster. This is called the new Mega Buster. Oh, I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite classic Mega Man games, actually. I think it's one of the most fun to replay. Alright, we start with Dustman. But so yeah, the setup's a little different in this game. There's a new evil doctor. Dr. Cossack. And, the new Mega Buster, as mentioned in that intro, is a charge shot. You can hold it for a second to charge a mid-shot that I don't think does any additional damage. And a full charge shot is that. It's thinner, but it's way more powerful. Okay, I say way. I can actually check with this first enemy here. The slide is still here, which is awesome. Okay. So a normal Buster Shots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. And he takes... Yeah, okay. It's worth 3. I can actually check the mid-charge, too. Feels like a way to do this right here at the beginning, but... 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Yeah, the mid-charge is not any higher damage than a normal shot. Always suspicious of pits like that. But the big charge is worth 3 shots. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. This is the first Mega Man game to have a charge shot of any kind. Aside from... Oh, yeah, you can make it over here. There's nothing here. But I like to get over there anyway. Aside from the charged atomic fire in Mega Man 2. I don't think there's any other charging weapons, right? These guys I find to be harder even than their equivalents to avoid. The bouncy dude, obviously. Slowdown here is fairly helpful, actually. But I'm excited to be moving on to Mega Man 4. As I've said before, I think the classic Mega Man games, I can speak, just get more fun over time. I love the addition of the charge shot. The like jump mashing of 1, 2, and 3 is fun too. But I love the charge shot. And obviously, as a fan of the X series, it feels kind of weird to not have that at this point. I don't want that. This is what I was talking about in the previous game, where it's sort of the new version of those capsules. This is Eddie, or Flip Top. I don't know where he's ever called Flip Top. I think it's just a US thing, but I also don't know where. But I know some people call him that. His name is Eddie. He's built by Dr. Light, I believe. And he'll give you an item. I always just keep going back and forth until he gives me an E-Tank. I don't think it's intentional that you can just retry over and over again, but it's really useful. This part is dangerous. You gotta be careful not to get crushed. If you just clear out the top ones, then you can't get crushed, obviously. This part is a little bit more because you have to slide under. And it can crush you if you're just standing normally. What I recommend is waiting and then sliding as quickly as possible. Basically, mash, shoot, and slide, and just try to brute force your way through there. Oh, the ground here is freaking out like Mega Man 3 does. But oh, I love these guys. I love the way they look. But I am happy to move on Mega Man. I can't wait to play the later games. Although, as I've indicated, I'm sort of falling off from Mega Man personally. So I might switch gears, put Mega Man on hold, and play some Metroid or Castlevania games or something. Or Kirby. I'm streaming Castlevania right now, so maybe I do Kirby or Metroid videos. Not sure. It just depends on how I feel. Weird thing about this game is that the energy bars take forever to fill. It's only in this game do they take that long, but it's weird. Also, new pause screen, way more like all the later classic games. But I've been playing even more Metroid. I finished playing through Metroid since recording the last part for Mega Man 3. I've actually played through Metroid 1, 2, and Super Metroid. And I've been playing... it's okay. I could have used the energy tank, but it's not that hard of a fight. I'll just do it again. This game, I think, is notably easier than 3. And 1, obviously. But what I've been doing the last day, is actually playing Dread mode in Metroid Dread. When it first came out, I was really bummed about it. Well, that's a weird way to word it. I was disappointed that it wasn't just a higher difficulty. The fact that you die in one hit, which is what it is brutal, and it completely changes the way you play, and I wasn't really happy about that when it was first announced and released. Obviously, I wasn't, like, annoyed. It's just an additional thing. But I'm now actually playing it, and I'm making some good progress in it. It's basically just be very careful. Although, despite the name, it doesn't really fill me with dread like the normal game does. It basically, like, trades the dread of the normal game with just intermittent fear. Because I just tend to forget that I'm in dread mode, and then freak out as I almost die, or do die. But the game's full of checkpoints, so it's really not that bad to make progress. I think the hardest thing is going to be the bosses. I just beat Kraid, but I still have a bunch of boss fights left. And some of them might be pretty difficult to do without taking a hit. You got Dust Crusher. I gotta remember I want to add the art for the Roadmasters and the abilities, the special weapons. Because they did that in 3, and I thought it was pretty cool, so I want to do that from here on for Mega Man. By the way, you can hit continue, which will return you to the stage. I don't know why you'd want to do that. I guess if you missed a collectible, because this game does actually have collectibles. It's got 2 of them. I don't remember for sure where they both are. I think I know. If I miss them, then I'll look it up. But, I believe Skullman is weak to the Dust Crusher. Let's go. Yeah, I've basically just been playing Metroid. I played through all of Super Metroid. I showed it on text on screen, but I guess it's worth saying out loud that I played through Metroid 1 and 2. And Metroid 1 I got through without having to look up any items, which is pretty sick, I think. I got every item without any help. Which isn't, like, that hard. There's not that many things to get in that game, but it's still pretty satisfying. And then Metroid 2 I was able to beat and got all but one item without looking it up. And then in Super Metroid, I got all but... I'm trying to remember. I think it was all but one item without looking anything up. I got to the end where I had gotten basically everything, and I was missing 2 items. Then I remembered an area that I hadn't been to. I did not remember the other one. So for Metroid 2 and 3, I needed to look up help for 1 item. But that's not bad. Also, it's worth pointing out that any item that shares Mega Man's like palette will be affected by your charge effect as well. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know if it's intentional exactly, but it is cool. I like it. I always just go for E-Tank because they're way more useful. Oh shit. I don't know what I got there. Not an E-Tank. If you pick it up, then you can't try again, basically. Which I guess is fine. There's an E-Tank right here. Where is it, though? It's not up here. Yeah, it's the second one from the top. So this game's really fun. I have been somewhat stressed out the last couple days, because I still haven't done a great job of actually following my my recording and editing schedule. What you want to do here is walk back and then follow him as he goes. If you kill him where he turns around, then he'll respawn by the time you walk back to the left. Pausing still makes you fall. I wasn't sure. I wanted to check. I think it's Mega Man 5 where that's no longer the case, actually. But I think I'm gonna, like, I'm basically dying to replay all the Metroid games. And I've already done 1, 2, and 3. I want to play Fusion and Zero Mission again, but I also want to play on NSO for those. Especially Fusion, because NSO will have... it's fine, I got the E-Tank. With its release on Nintendo Switch Online, I'll be able to play the Japan-exclusive hard mode for Metroid Fusion. And I'm excited for that, because I like the hard mode in the 2D Metroid games. I think the little additional difficulty is fun, makes for a fun challenge. And I've already done that in Zero Mission, but like I kind of want to play it on the new platform. That shouldn't be notably different, but I figure I'll go ahead and play the Japanese version of that too. I guess I didn't say that. I played the Japanese versions of Metroid 1, 2, and 3, which I'd already played through the Japanese versions of 1 and 3, and they're not really notably different, any of those. It's really just Fusion that has different features between US and Japan. Or at least that's the only one I can think of right now. But because I'm waiting for them to come to NSO, I'm probably just going to replay the other Metroid games. I was wanting to go in order for the 2D series, but I might end up just doing all of them and then going back and doing Fusion and Zero Mission. And I'm doing hard mode for all of them. Woo, he does a lot of contact damage, actually, whenever possible. He has a similar shield to the Leaf Shield. One of the second of many similar shield weapons in the series. Oh, please don't tell me that's a game over. No, okay. I probably should have checked. Is this my last life? No, I still got 2 more lives! But I am going to use Dust Crusher, because I might as well. But I started a file of Prime 2 Echoes, even though I kind of want to wait till it comes to the Switch, because, I mean, I'm pretty sure it will. But I don't know for sure that it will, and even if it does, I have no idea when. Dustman, by the way, he's not too hard. Once he summons his shield, he'll sit there, and once the shield goes away, after about a second, he'll run at you. What you want to do is wait till his shield goes away, and then after about a second, jump forward, and you should be able to dodge him that way. I love this rotating sprite of Mega Man here. But I'm impatient, so I'm probably gonna play through. I'm probably gonna play through all the other Metroid games, including the 2 Prime games. Dive Man is weak to Skullman's weapon. And I started to file Prime 2. I was like, oh, I already have a hard mode file, hyper mode. I've never finished it, so I deleted the file without remembering that at least in the Wii version, I'm not sure about GameCube, but to start a hyper mode file, which is hard mode, the hard mode of the Wii releases are called hyper mode. Oh, I like this, actually, real quick. I want to point out that if you're charging when you enter a slide corridor like this, when you let go of the charge button, Mega Man's sprite will stay on whatever color it was at that point when you let go. It's crazy. It's fun. But, sorry. I'm so... As always, I am so frazzled. But... To start a hyper mode file in Prime 2, you need to have a completed normal mode file. You can't just start one fresh from a blank file. So I have to play through the game again, since I don't want to delete either of the other 2 files I have. Delete. I don't want to start anew in one of the other 2 files. I want to keep the saves that I have for those. Which is fine. The game's already pretty hard. So if I just jump straight into hard mode without like remembering all the details of the game, it would probably be really annoying. So it's probably for the best that I'll play through on normal mode and then hard mode. Obviously, like, these guys are good to just kill like that, but if you go too far back in the process, then they'll respawn. So I think it's usually better just to tank one hit and move on. But that's basically what I'm doing in Metroid. There's not really any other games I'm playing right now. I've not yet started to read any comics on my tablet. Like, I still intend to. I just have been busy with other stuff. Whenever there's a mini-boss, the whale, in the screen, you can see bits of him appearing as the screen scrolls. And that's basically just your warning that he's coming. This is where one of the 2 items are. This is a bit tricky, and I don't remember... Not like that. Oh, that always happens the first time. I always go too far forward and get hit by the spikes. It's basically just trial and error. It's really hard to, like... You're just not gonna know. Every time I play this game for the first time in a while, I go too far forward and hit those spikes. I guess I've been just talking about Metroid this whole time. I really like this mini-boss. Usually I just do like one charge shot and then jump mashing. But like, as you might be able to tell, I'm kind of just breezing through this game so far. I think this is one of the easier classic Mega Man games, and one of the easiest games in the series as a whole, too. But it's really fun. I really like the boss fights, especially. The level design's fun, but I think it has some of the most fun, like, later stage boss fights in the series. Getting that, by the way, will respawn you at the checkpoint. And that is an item. It's called the Wire. It makes Mega Man red, like with Rush, and you can look up, which is really weird. It's the only classic Mega Man game where you have a look-up sprite, and it's an item you can use that will pull you up to a ceiling. It's really situational. It can be really good. It's just only in specific circumstances is it that helpful. Which is a common thing in the Mega Man series, as I've said. The special weapons in this game I don't think are particularly useful. The only one I really use is Ringman's weapon, at least as far as I remember. These things will explode when you get close. What you can do is approach, trigger them, and then run away. That's usually what I do, especially the ones that are very near the moving spikes. Aw, should just jump a little higher there. You can slide underneath that one. You can slide into all of these, actually. And can you still not slide into shutters? I thought you could in this game. Oh, you can. Okay, I thought so. Dive Man. He's one of the hardest fights in the game without his weakness. So, I mean, I say that. It's actually a really, really fun fight. It's a bit tough, but it's really fun. Okay, I take it back. It's not that tough. I just misremembered. If he crouches without his chest opening, then he's gonna dash at you. Otherwise, he'll shoot the rockets. Oh, I actually want to give it one more try without using his weakness. It's really fun. Ugh. But I'm at 0 lives, so I'll just use the skull barrier. It's fine. I believe you can't throw the skull barrier the way you can the leaf shield in the previous game. Yeah, you can. Basically, just use it, jump, and touch him with it. That's about all there is to this fight. It's way more fun without his weakness, but he does do a lot of contact damage, so... If you have extra lives, I totally recommend trying the fight Buster only. Otherwise, yeah, use his weakness. But I don't know how many parts this video is going to take. This video is going to be one part, because it's a video. God. But I'm curious how many episodes this series is going to be. It looks like in this episode I'm going to get through half of the RoboMasters, which is pretty cool. Dive Man is the weakness of Drill Man. The way that I remember the weaknesses, at least some of them, is by remembering a weird way that Nintendo Capri Sun said that he remembers the weaknesses. He had like a mnemonic, kind of, for remembering them. Like a specific phrase for each weakness. It was like you dust off a skull. I don't remember the one for Skull and Dive Man. You dive into a drill. The drill kills a toad. And then beyond that, I don't remember. And I might have gotten some of that wrong. But that's how I remember at least the beginning of the pattern here. And it's very weird, but it's stuck with me. Since I watched his Let's Play 10 years ago. And I think I've seen those Let's Plays a couple times, but not in a long while. I think it's pretty interesting that I still remember, and it speaks to how weird and memorable it is. Although if I remember the whole thing, the point would be even more so. But I have very much enjoyed playing through. This is a great circumstance where you want to kill him instead of just taking a hit, because it's one screen. You have the distance, and you can shoot him before he can get to you. But I really enjoyed doing the Let's Plays here, the Classic and the X series, obviously. Even X6, I've enjoyed more than I expected to. And obviously I love all the Classic series games. This part is a bit tricky. There's a specific part of a head that I always tank a hit on just because it's easier. I think it's this screen? If you want that life, I recommend tanking a hit, but I don't really care to get it. I think that might be what I was thinking of, though. I think I always get that life before. These ladybug guys will detach when they get close to you, and when they detach, they go up. So you have to jump a little up. Not quite that high. But like usual, there are basically no returning enemies. It's just a matter of learning the new variations on the enemies. You start with Rush Coil just like Mega Man 3. The game throws energy tanks at you. I was wrong. I said that I thought it was 4, where you don't get very many energy tanks until near the end, and then it just throws them all at you. Nah, this game just chucks them at you for free, especially if you abuse the Eddy thing. I think it's 5 that I'm thinking of, where you don't get very many energy tanks until near the end. This is one part where I recommend using the Skull Barrier. It's very useful. I mean, if you waste them on these guys like I am, it's not as useful. But it's very useful for avoiding these boulders. These switches, I believe these platforms are still here. Oh! You want to kill before you go. Honestly, stopping every time would be the more smart thing to do, but I'm impatient. So I'm just gonna try to do that on that one. These guys, after a bit, they will close and they'll no longer be damageable and they'll just charge at you. So either you want to kill them quickly or dodge them. Although they will open after a bit. They're not, like, invincible from then on. You can also just trigger them, and then... I don't think there's another, like, super reliable way to avoid damage. So I recommend just baiting any enemies over, killing them. Well, that one's just going to keep respawning. Using the skull barrier. And anytime you need to stop to shoot them, switch off from the Mega Buster. Switch off to the Mega Buster. Oh, it's not great. There we go. The shield is great for avoiding damage from them, but not great for fighting the enemies here. Well, you can also just shoot the boulder, I realize. That's a totally valid way to do it, actually. Never mind. That is a maybe easier way, even. I am mistaken. Yeah, dive missile. This fight's fun too. I really like all of the boss fights in this game. I think they are more fun than a lot of boss fights in other games in the main series. I think the boss fights are where this game shines. With Drillman, I recommend just sort of like when he goes underground, you want to just sort of move, like wait a sec, and then move across the screen and go back and forth. The way the missiles fly is not entirely logical. There we go. Jeez. Yeah, I realized I was complimenting that fight, and it's very, very simple, but I find the patterns to be really fun. It is weird, though, that the health refills so slowly. It's true for your weapon energy, too. This game introduces a new, if I'm remembering correctly, a new type of energy tank that refills your weapon energy, too. And it takes forever to get through that, because it does all of them. You get the Rush Jet Adapter, which that name makes me think of the Rush items from Mega Man 6, which function differently, but it's exactly the same as Mega Man 3, except that it pushes you forward consistently. You can't cheese it the way you can in the previous game. But, as much as my commentary has just been going back and forth between vastly different topics here, that'll be it for this video. I appreciate anyone who watched this. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. I feel so messy right now. Not focused.